Atop the hill here in Bowling Green, it's college football on CBS Sports Network, and it's built by the Home Depot, a big Conference USA showdown as Western Kentucky, undefeated in CUSA play, host La Tech. And here come the Bulldogs. As we take a look at the Conference USA standings, Western Kentucky tied with Jacksonville State at 5-0 in league play. Sam Houston and Liberty looming as well. Hi, everybody. We welcome you to Bowling Green, Kentucky, here in the broadcast booth. I'm Alex Zabarrio. That's former Rice quarterback Taylor McCarg. And Taylor, this has all the makings of a trap game if you're Western Kentucky. You're undefeated in conference. La Tech, not a great record, but still have a really good defense. And when you look ahead for Western Kentucky, some really good opponents, because they are thinking Conference USA Championship.
Well, there's two big matchups in the coming weeks against Liberty and Jacksonville State for Western Kentucky. But today, in that look-ahead spot like you talked about, they're facing a Louisiana Tech team that has 5 one-score losses. So this absolutely is a team that's capable of pulling off the upset here today if Western Kentucky doesn't give that opponent respect.
Let's talk about our teams. Both of these teams have changed quarterbacks in season. Caden Veldkamp, not your prototypical Western Kentucky recruit because he's local, but he's making things happen this season.
Well, took over for an injured TJ Finley in week 3 and has not looked back. He's the most efficient passer in Conference USA. He also does a fantastic job for them in the run game, especially in the red zone. They lean on him. It's part of what has made him one of the best quarterbacks in Conference USA.
And as for Louisiana Tech, they're starting to pick things up offensively. Sonny Cumbie with those air raid principles. True Edwards has been making a name for himself this year.
And True Edwards has been the home run hitter for the Bulldogs, and this staff talked to us about they've got to get him activated early, want to get him touches. They feel like once he's involved, he gets a few catches, that's when their offense begins clicking, especially in that screen game.
There's a look at Louisiana Tech head coach Sonny Cumbie, now in his 3rd season. Of course, the former Texas Tech quarterback, part of that Mike Leach coaching tree. And there's Tyson Helton. I don't know if there's a better group of 5 head coach in the country than Tyson Helton, bowl eligible in all 6 seasons here at Western Kentucky. Louisiana Tech kicking off here to start this one off to Western Kentucky, as the Hilltoppers won the toss and have elected to receive, and that one sails into the back of the end zone. And we will start things off. Hayden Heldkamp coming into the game. Again, you know, normally at Western Kentucky, they recruit an FCS national champion, someone who's setting records in Division II. Hayden Veldkamp from right down the road here in Bowling Green.
Oh, and he's the son of the head strength coach here at Western Kentucky as well. His teammates talked about he is a warrior in the weight room, and they've rallied around Caden Veldkamp since he took over in week 3.
So Western Kentucky starts things up on offense here. Veldkamp immediately has his first pass swatted down. He was looking for Dalvin Smith on that left side. And this Louisiana Tech defense, Taylor, is very aggressive. They like to use the word attack.
One of the best defenses in Conference USA, and a good job right there on the first play by Michael Clark, getting that hand up. Screen game is a big part of this offense for Western Kentucky. This is an aggressive Bulldogs unit on the defensive side.
So here we go, 2nd down and 10. Veldkamp swings it out right side. Pass complete to Keyshawn Johnson. Pick up about 8 there. As we take a look at the rest of the Hilltoppers offense here. Offensive line has some veterans on it, a lot of 5th-year and 4-year players on it. But that matchup at center with Evan Wimberly and David Blay is going to be an interesting one to watch. Here on 3rd down and 3.
Pressure look here from Louisiana Tech. See if they back out or bring the pressure.
Veldkamp looks, swings it out right side to Young, gets hit immediately in a loss of yardage there, brought down at the 29-yard line. And Colby Fields, the one that gets the hit, the South Carolina transfer, makes a big hit here, and the punting unit's going to come on.
And a great job, 2nd down and 3rd down plays. Louisiana Tech give up the completion but rally to the football, and a great open field tackle on 3rd down by Colby Fields. And they're 3 and out to start this game. Couldn't ask for a better first possession if you're the Bulldogs.
And this Louisiana Tech team, especially on the defensive side, drives on energy and getting momentum to go their way, as that one's punted. True Edwards calls for the fair catch as he's back deep to receive that punt. And the La Tech offense will take the field here. And coming out here is Evan Bullock. Bullock Wasn't always the starter, was Jack Turner earlier in the season, but since he's come on, he's played very well, a very efficient quarterback with his throws. Hasn't put it all together yet, but he's a young guy, just a redshirt freshman out of Texas, and they really like his future. And it's an empty backfield to start off this first drive for Louisiana Tech. Bullock scans the field. Over the middle, it is caught. Edwards, and that's what they wanted to do, get him the ball early.
But get him the ball early and activate Jimmy Holiday as well, as we see the Bulldogs back on the ball quickly, trying to start faster today.
And a handoff here on second down. That's Wiggins down the left sideline, was able to break free, and that's an explosive play from the running game. And this is an offense that really doesn't have explosiveness at the running back position.
Well, it's running back by committee between Marquise Crosby, Amari Wiggins, Amani Givens. You go down the lineup, these guys rotate carries, they try to keep them fresh. And that was a good explosive run on second down by Amari Wiggins.
That's an 18-yard pickup. And a first down here for the Bulldogs. Handoff to Wiggins again, this time right side, and picks up about 5 yards. As we look at this Western Kentucky defense, always love coming over here because Tyson Summers gives us everything we need to prepare for a game when we have our DC meetings.
On the star on the back end and the defense for Western Kentucky is Upton Stout. It's the only Group of 5 player in the country that's already accepted a Senior Bowl invite. He will play on Sundays, number 21, down at the hash here to the field side. Keep an eye on him throughout the day today.
Second down and 5. They'll put Givens in motion. Bullock over the middle, caught. Edwards, he's open. Here comes a penalty marker out as he crosses the 30-yard line, but a big gain and takes a hit late in the play there. DeMarco Williams might have nudged him after he had gotten out of bounds there, but no extra flag. But we'll see what this one is right in the middle of the field. Referee for this game is Rory Bernard.
The ball was caught behind the line of scrimmage. First down.
So there you go.
And the call, thought it may have been offensive pass interference. If that is caught beyond the line of scrimmage, that's where it's not a screen. Obviously caught behind the line of scrimmage, no penalty, but that is the exact same slip screen that Louisiana Tech ran a week ago. It was a 70-plus yard touchdown for True Edwards. Come back to it on this first possession, and this is exactly what this offensive staff talked to us about, wanting to get him touches early in the game to try and kickstart an offense that traditionally this season has started really slow. A lot of 3 and outs to this point in the season.
It was a 22-yard pickup there for Edwards. So another first down here for Louisiana Tech. Four receivers here for the Bulldogs. Bullock scanning, decides to take it himself, decides to slide as he gets to about the 20-yard line. They're going to actually say the 21, so gain of 4 here for Bullock. And that was something they talked about with us. Coach, offensive coordinator Nathan Young said, you know, they actually would like to see him run a little bit more.
Well, that was a great job of being decisive, getting vertical, because this offense, this is the most sacked offense in Conference USA. You saw the protection break down. Good job by Evan Bullock. Get vertical, pick up what you can get, and then slide.
So after the 4-yard pickup, it's 2nd and 6 here for La Tech. Handoff here, not much, as Givens was the ball carrier, and it's going to be 3rd down and short. Looks like it to be a 3rd down and 3.
And this is the area and spot on the field where start to see and think about Jimmy Holiday coming in. Doesn't look like they're going to. Amari Givens coming back in at running back, also checking Solo Lewis in. But these 3rd and short, 4th and short in the red zone. Expect to see some Jimmy Holiday in that Wildcat package here soon.
Wiggins in the backfield, 4 receivers here for La Tech on a 3rd down and 3 inside the 20. Bullock. Right side, pass is caught, and it's going to be short. Solo Lewis with the catch. Great job there by Upton Stout. You talked about him earlier, already invited to the Senior Bowl, and he is a key cog on this Western Kentucky defense.
And it's a great job by Kent Robinson. They bring Solo Lewis all the way across on a shallow cross. It's man coverage. Kent Robinson doesn't get lost in all the traffic, tracks down Solo Lewis, and a big stop there on third down to force the field goal attempt.
This is going to be a 35-yard field goal attempt for Buck Buchanan. Buchanan has been shaky at times, but nails this one through. And Louisiana Tech, after forcing the 3-and-out, up with a 3-0 lead after their first possession.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by The Home Depot. How doers get more done. By Ram Trucks, built to serve. And by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. What's your beef?
You know, Grimace got a lot of pub this baseball season, but there's no better mascot, I think, in college football than Big Red. The Western Kentucky mascot created in 1979 by student Ralph Carey, already in the Mascot Hall of Fame. Birthday's coming up. What do you get a Big Red blob for his birthday, Taylor?
Probably Big Red, right?
Just the case of Big Red.
Yeah, exactly, a case of Big Red.
There you go. 3-0 lead for Louisiana Tech right out of the gate after their first drive. Nice job by Western Kentucky's defense. That's what Tyson Summers calls a knockout. If it's a field goal, if it's a 3-and-out, whatever the case may be, it's still a knockout. Take a look at your Stanley Steamer keys to the game here, Taylor.
Well, for Louisiana Tech, start fast. Getting points on the first possession was big. They want to create takeaways on the other side. For Western Kentucky, that be patient piece, you saw a good example of it. They had a 3-and-out on their first possession. Louisiana Tech is a really sound defense. And for Western Kentucky on the other side, they want to limit the explosive plays. That's such a big part of the Louisiana Tech offense.
It's Young, the ball carrier here on first down. Going back to defensive coordinator Tyson Summers for Western Kentucky, he was discussing with us about how the tempo of this offense is different, and that affects how many knockouts they need on defense in order to win football games. It's a very different look for the Western Kentucky offense. The casual fan, as we get a run here on second down, will say it's very similar, but the tempo has slowed considerably from previous Tyson Helton teams.
Well, and tight end is such a big part of this offense as well. Noah Myers has been fantastic for them, but that unit, that tight end room, really banged up right now. So Noah Myers, very important today. Another opportunity. Expect pressure here on third down, especially with this empty look from Western Kentucky.
3rd down and 6. Still looking for their first down, and Veldkamp slings it. No penalty marker out. They were looking for Easton Messer on that right side, and he went down, and there was no one in the vicinity after he went down. Blake Thompson there in on the coverage, and Veldkamp pretty frustrated.
And a good no call. Easton Messer fell down. I think there was some of that sideline for Western Kentucky that wanted a call, but back-to-back 3-and-outs. We talked about this is a really sound and solid defense for the Bulldogs, and they've come out swinging, forcing back-to-back 3-and-outs.
Edwards back deep to receive the punt here from Cole Maynard, and will have a return, caught at the 25-yard line, and picks up about 5 on the return. So Louisiana Tech's offense already up 3-0. Looking to strike again. Tomorrow at 6 Eastern, the Toronto Argonauts take on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in Canadian football's biggest game of the year. Don't miss the Grey Cup right here on CBS Sports Network. And there is a Toronto Argonaut, John Haggerty III, a former punter here at Western Kentucky, now assuming those duties for the Argonauts here in the Grey Cup game coming up. There's Louisiana Tech head coach Sonny Cumbie, who gave up the play calling duties just before the Middle Tennessee game. That was back on October the 10th. The offense had been sputtering and said, you know what, I need to take something off my plate as Evan Bullock comes back to lead this Louisiana Tech offense up 3-0. Play action on first down. Bullock steps up as the rush comes, decides to tuck it and run across the 35. Plenty of running room ahead, gets across the 45 and picks up a first down. And one of the points of emphasis when Nathan Young took over is like, we got to get better rushing the football.
Well, that's part of why Jimmy Holiday came on the scene. You see the transition from the first 4 to the last 5 games. Jimmy Holiday, a big part of that. Also the quarterback run game. Seen twice now already, Evan Bullock. Good job in decision making, tucking the ball, getting vertical, and picking up a first down with his legs.
He picked up 14 on that last play. Here's Amani Givens. And spins away from a tackler, breaks free across the 45, inside Hilltopper territory, inside the 40-yard line.
And early in this game, this is the best I think we've seen the Bulldogs running backs in quite a while. The broken tackle right there at the point of attack. Good job with contact balance.
A 17-yard pickup before Devontae Matthews able to come up with the stop. So another first down here for Louisiana Tech, 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line of the Hilltoppers.
See the splits, you know the switch is coming. Number splits.
Bullock surveys the field, hit from behind. Hosea Wheeler coming up with his 3rd sack of the season. Beg your pardon, Deontay McCrary coming up with the sack.
Good job by 8, right at the bottom of the screen. Working up to the field, he sees Evan Bullock slide up in the pocket. Good recognition, rally to the football, and get the sack. Evan Bullock a couple times breaking those loose, picking up big gains with his legs. That time, Deontay McCray able to come up with the sack.
Deontay McCray, the redshirt sophomore from Jacksonville, Florida, with the sack, a loss of 3. Bullock trying to escape the rush, dumps it off to Givens. Shades one tackler, but then here come plenty of more red shirts to bring him down. Anthony Johnson there coming up with the stop.
And doesn't this look exactly like how this staff for Western Kentucky described their defense? They told us yesterday, look, we understand by our structure, we're going to give up yards between the 30s. But once it gets to the red zone, that's part of what makes this Western Kentucky defense one of the best in the red zone, 3rd in the nation in red zone defense. They are so good at condensing down once they get into their own territory.
It's a loss of 3. It's 3rd down and 14 here for La Tech. So Western Kentucky trying to come up with another knockout for DC Tyson Summers. Bullock surveys the field. Pass is complete. Jay Wilkerson with the catch. Darius Thomas there. They're well short of the sticks. Got back to maybe the original line of scrimmage there, and it will be 4th down.
And an interesting decision here now. Do you give Buck Buchanan the opportunity to kick this? He has a 57-yarder under his belt. And it looks like they're going to go ahead and punt this away with Patrick Ray right at the edge of Buck Buchanan's range, but Sonny Cumbie electing to play field position.
K.D. Hutchinson back deep to receive. Patrick Ray, the redshirt sophomore from Melbourne, Australia, 16 punts inside the 20. Another one there, that one inside the 5. That's one of the things they do really well. So Western Kentucky is going to have a long run ahead after that 36-yard punt, 3-0 La Tech. Time for Do Project Smarter, built by the Home Depot. They've got another wrinkle to this Western Kentucky offense. Dalvin Smith can sling it.
Let me tell you something. If you see Dalvin Smith go in motion as a defender, you need to be on high alert that that ball may be passed twice and thrown over your head. It's happened a couple times this season. They connected on it last week as well. I think what's most impressive, Dalvin Smith, that accuracy downfield. He is a weapon at the receiver spot, but also with his ability to throw the football. 4 career touchdown passes.
Played a multitude of positions in high school, obviously including quarterback. Played at Glasgow High School here in Kentucky as we get a run here on 1st down. Dalvin Smith did.
This Louisiana Tech defense, it will look like a 5-man box, but this is all about that star safety. And it's really with Jacob Fields back in the middle of the field. That is that 3rd safety. And it's so difficult to run against because they bait you into thinking you're running into a light box when really there's a 6th and sometimes a 7th defender ready to fit the run.
It's a 4-yard pickup. A run here on 2nd down. It's George Hart III, the ball carrier. and pick up a first down. So we take a look at how the defense has improved for Louisiana Tech. Improving on those takeaways as well. Historically, they've been a good program at taking the football away, but Coach Johnson, Jeremiah Johnson, really enjoyed a chance to talk to him. They really talk about how they need to be violent and attack and get to the football, and they've done that here in recent games. Here on first down, pass, left side, and it falls out, and they're going to say incomplete. Dalvin Smith there. Looked like he caught it, but never finished through with the catch. We'll take another look.
Good accurate throw from Caden Veltkamp. Hits him right on the numbers. And this is just a drop from Dalvin Smith. Get another look at it. Simple, easy pitch and catch, and that's one that 17 will tell you he's got to make that play.
Ball carriers George Hart maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Looks like they're going to give him 2. Got a little bit extra after the hit.
But Alex, like you touched on, since Jeremiah Johnson has come over in the defensive coordinator, he has implemented this star safety structure. It was based off of the defense that was developed by Iowa State in 2017, and it is a really difficult defense to prepare for. It's hard for quarterbacks, especially in this RPO world that we live in now. And another pressure look here on third down. La Tech's traditionally bailed out of it again here.
Veltkamp, right side, pass complete, and a big first down. They needed that, did the Hilltoppers. Bryce Childress with the reception there for Western Kentucky.
Back on the ball quickly. Good third down completion. Accurate throw and on time. This is a spot may see a shot here.
After the 12-yard pickup, here comes the rush. Veltkamp tangled up and brought down. Jaden Burnett coming up with the sack off of the edge.
This is off of the right side, and he comes unblocked. Jaden Burnett, this comes from the defensive end spot. He's really a rush in, one of their pass rush specialists, and a breakdown in protection there up front for Western Kentucky.
End up giving up all those yards back, a loss of 9. Veltkamp decides to run, has plenty of room in front, dives ahead, head first, and picks up the first down as he crosses the 40-yard line to about the 41. And Veltkamp being helped up. A penalty marker is out after the 20-yard pickup.
I'll be real curious to see what this call is. Caden Veltkamp did not slide. He dove forward.
Personal foul, targeting with the crown of the helmet. Defense, number 19. The previous play is under further review.
That's Roderick Roberson. And this is something, when we talk about this Louisiana Tech team improving, that has been their Achilles heel. It's these targeting penalties. But in this particular case, I'm not really sure what Roberson could have done.
Yeah, number one, I think there is a lowering of the head, but the contact is to the side of Veltkamp. There's not helmet-to-helmet contact there. I totally agree. This will be a great angle of it. If you're 19, he hits him in the back with a quarterback that is lunging forward. I'm not sure. I completely agree with you, Alex. I'm not sure what else you can do as a defender. Also, that ball comes out. Looks like an immediate recovery from Veltkamp. But this will be another great look at it. Number of good looks. Credit to our crew. But to me, for Roderick Roberson, I don't have this as targeting. You're going down, trying to make contact with the ball carrier. We'll see if this call gets upheld.
Well, we will hear from Rory Bernard here, the official word.
After review, there's no foul for targeting. First down, Western Kentucky.
That was a good pullback on that from the official.
And a good job by the replay crew working through that quickly. Got together, clearly not targeting, especially, again, with the quarterback diving forward. And credit to that crew to get that call right. And that's big for Louisiana Tech, for Roderick Roberson to stay in the game. He's one of the more physical defenders that they have on the back end.
So here's Caden Veltkamp, what he's been doing in CUSA. Nope, the completion percentage, leading the conference in passing touchdowns, second in passing yards. You know, a lot of is made about Nick Vadiato and rightfully so, over at Middle Tennessee as being the class at the quarterback position in the conference, but Caden Veldkamp is having a phenomenal season.
He is, and this is a spot I would imagine we see here soon some sort of shot play over the top. It hasn't happened yet, but this is an offense. They want to try and lull you to sleep, play action, and then throw it over your head.
Little flea flicker action. Veldkamp and quickly gets it out. Pass complete to Childress. Childress breaks free. A penalty marker out at midfield. And brought down inside the 45-yard line. It would be a first down, but we'll see what the flag is.
In the direction of holding, and the way the Louisiana Tech bench reacted, I think this ball is coming back.
But a lot of trickeration on that play from Western Kentucky on the 14-yard pickup.
Holding. Offense. Number 81. 10-yard penalty for responding to foul. Second down.
That's the tight end, Noah Myers. And you mentioned it earlier, Taylor, some injuries to that position. Myers picking up the slack for River Helms and Trevor Borland. Both are out for this game.
We get another look at it. It's a good job by Veldkamp getting this ball. You see all the pursuit. There's right there, as you see, Noah Myers taking the defender to the ground. Good job by this officiating crew.
It's going to be 2nd and 9. Veldkamp gets it out quickly. Pass complete to Keyshawn Johnson. And it's going to be a yard shy of the marker. But an 8-yard pickup there to the 49.
And that's also something this offensive staff talked to us about. Those quick throws, raise up and get it out of your hand quickly. Caden Veldkamp doing a nice job in the quick game. Good accurate throw, put it on that outside shoulder and allow Keyshawn Johnson to get upfield. Big spot here on 3rd down early in this game. I would not be surprised if this ends up being 4-down territory as well if they don't get it.
DeMarcus Griffin-Taylor got that last stop for La Tech. Delay on the handoff, pulls it back, pass complete. That's Myers, the tight end, with the reception, picks up the first down and more. Takes it all the way down to the 35.
I love the play design. This is that slow mesh. Running back is taught, work slowly through that mesh point. Quarterback is reading. It's an RPO game. If that defender steps down, you raise up and throw it to Noah Myers just like he did. The defender stays wide. It ends up being a handoff. Good recognition from Caden Veldkamp.
4 seconds left in the quarter. Time for one more play. Veldkamp pulls it back again, slings it, sidearms it, pass complete on that right side. And that'll be the end of the first quarter here. Western Kentucky, no points in this first quarter. They've been a really good first quarter team. We'll see how they can put some points up on the board. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network. It's built by the Home Depot. Get ready to start the second quarter here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. 3-0 lead for La Tech. CBS Sports recognizes Native American Heritage Month, a time to embrace tribal identity and celebrate the history, customs, and legacy of the nation's original citizens. First time since week 1 that Western Kentucky's been shut out in the first quarter. So this La Tech defense, I told you, Taylor McCart, this was no joke. As Veldkamp fires left side, big play. You were waiting for that one, QB. And another first down. Keyshawn Johnson with the reception.
Release Keyshawn Johnson on a switch route up the sideline. Good job standing in the pocket from Veldkamp. Good accurate throw and an even better catch, fighting through that contact from Jacob Fields. And that is the first explosive play we've seen in the passing game early in this game for Western Kentucky.
It's a 20-yard pickup there for Johnson. The Hilltoppers in the red zone. Play action. Pass a little bit too high for Noah Myers. And a penalty marker is down in the offensive backfield. And this might be a roughing penalty.
And Makai Mason did a good job blowing up Noah Myers.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense. Number 9. The penalty is half the distance to the goal and an automatic first down.
And it started as a great play. It disrupts the route for Noah Myers, but then as soon as that ball comes out, let that go. That's an unnecessary penalty, and that's something that's been a killer for the Bulldogs all season.
Yeah, Jeremiah Johnson was talking to us about the difference between playing violent and playing smart. And he's like, some of the plays that we're making, the penalties that are costing us, are plays just like that.
Now for Western Kentucky, get ready for quarterback run game. This is where Caden Veltkamp thrives in the tight red zone.
Veltkamp from inside the 10. They'll hand it off on first down. Handoff. Young finds the corner of the end zone, took the perfect route to the pylon, and Western Kentucky takes the lead. Elijah Young's 4th touchdown of the season, his 3rd on the ground.
And Elijah Young said, forget about that quarterback run game stuff. Give me the ball, makes one good cut, and the rest of this is speed to the pylon. Great run, good vision from Elijah Young to get the Hilltoppers on the board.
It's like a little track meet between him and Jacob Fields to the pylon, beat him there. And here's the point after. Up and good. So Western Kentucky, after being shut out in the first quarter, coming up with their first touchdown of the game.
Well, it took the first quarter, but Elijah Young gets the Hilltoppers on the board to start the second quarter.
(7-3) Western Kentucky is there finally on the board here early in the second quarter. Now coming up tomorrow morning at 8 Eastern, kick off your day with that other pregame show as the Tops crew breaks down all the latest NFL news and headlines, gets you ready for a full day of football action on CBS Sports Network. Touchdown for Western Kentucky. Elijah Young, a 7-yard touchdown run to go up 7-3. And they finally got that offense to look explosive on that last drive.
And took advantage of the penalty on the roughing the passer from Makai Mason. The running game has been sound for the first part of this game for the most part for the Hilltoppers.
Here comes a return from DeMarcus Griffin-Taylor across the 15, and it's going to be shy of the 20-yard line. So the 19-yard line is where this Louisiana Tech offense is going to take over. And in that first drive, able to make some really nice plays. The running game certainly much improved from the film that we've been watching from this team as of late.
Running game has certainly been better. Expect to see more of True Edwards get involved here. He's lined up in the slot right here. That's the guy that is the home run hitter along with Solo Lewis. They've got to get them going.
Here's Jimmy Holiday on the direct snap, gets to the 20-yard line. Holiday with a 1-yard pickup. And Holiday, the former Western Kentucky wide receiver, coming over to Louisiana Tech in the offseason. And Coach Sonny Cumbie made sure to tell us, hey, we're probably going to have to tell him to calm down a little bit because he's going to be pretty excited for this game.
Going to have a lot of emotion coming in this game against his former team, and just a little bit, a taste of the Wildcat offense that's been so effective and a big part of the run game for the Bulldogs in the last 5 weeks of the season.
And you had talked about it earlier, but as Evan Bullock comes back in, as they're throwing some more wrinkles at the running back spot. More on that in a second as Bullock fires the pass to Edwards left side. Another reception for Edwards. That's his 3rd already on the day, and it's going to be good for another first down. About adding all those Wildcat wrinkles to this Louisiana Tech running game, using Jimmy Holiday in different packages, going through that running back by committee just to find ways to get some rushing yards.
Well, because Jimmy Holiday does such a good job making people miss in tight spaces, and that was something they felt like they weren't getting from the running back spot, and he has added that element for the Bulldogs offense.
After a 14-yard pickup from Edwards, another run here on first down. It's Marquise Crosby, the redshirt junior from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Terrence Ellis there to bring him down, the Rice transfer.
One of the other issues for Louisiana Tech that they've done a nice job of today has been pass protection. Again, this is the most sacked team in Conference USA. A lot of it's been offensive line by committee. You've had issues, some with injury at center, the right guard position between Jaron Gilbert and Jamarian Kennedy. They've had to rotate some. But so far in this game, offensive line playing well for Louisiana Tech.
3-yard pickup from Crosby, so it's 2nd and 7. Bullock rolls to his right, looks, still waiting, finally delivers it off on the dump off to Wiggins. Gets positive yardage to the 40. Give him a 5-yard pickup.
This was a miss from Evan Bullock, trying to get this right here. I'm going to set this down from True Edwards, and there is a window to throw this ball right now. That ball's got to come out of his hands right now. Now the window's closed, has to check it down. That was a missed opportunity for a first down.
Louisiana Tech 0 for 2 on third down today. This is a 3rd down and 3. Bullock fires left side. That pass almost intercepted. Anthony Johnson came out of nowhere and nearly came up with the pick. It's an incompletion, but that could have been an explosive play for the Western Kentucky defense.
It's a switch concept for Eli Finley, and this is a great job from Anthony Johnson dissecting this. They're going to come out, bring him in, and you're going to see number 4, Anthony Johnson, come from the back end. Is all over this play, and Evan Bullock, very fortunate that that wasn't an interception going the opposite way.
Patrick Ray will punt the football away. And it's a high one, and it's going to be fair caught across the 20-yard line. There is a penalty flag all the way back at the 29-yard line.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense. Number 92. The penalty is 15 yards from the previous spot and an automatic first down.
Marcus Patterson called for roughing the kicker. So Louisiana Tech gets a gift first down from the Western Kentucky special teams.
And this is a killer. Marcus Patterson, he's fighting through and gets baited by number 7, Jaden Gray. Jaden Gray lets him go, falls forward into the punter's legs, and a huge mistake for Western Kentucky that now extends the drive for Louisiana Tech.
And it brings them into Western Kentucky territory, so Bullock back on the field, the ball on the 44-yard line of the Hilltoppers. Monty Givens in the backfield, takes the handoff here on first down, squeezes through a number of red shirts and gets all the way to the 34-yard line and picks up a first down, a 10-yard pickup there from Givens.
Tempo again, another good first down run from Louisiana Tech from the running back spot.
They get to the line quickly. Bullock snaps it, hands it off again. Once again, it's Givens, the junior from Baton Rouge. Anthony Johnson there to bring him down. 3-yard pickup.
A 2nd and manageable, 2nd and 7. This would be a spot. Be on the lookout for some sort of play action. You've got both Jimmy Holiday and True Edwards in the game. Running the ball well, but still not a lot of explosives in the passing attack for the Bulldogs.
On 2nd and 7. And here is Holiday coming off the end around across the 30. And that's where they like to use him. Either on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll line him up in the backfield. They really like his explosiveness.
I love this call to try and manufacture a touch for Jimmy Holiday. Good job blocking on the perimeter as well. You see Marquise Crosby get on the edge. Good play design, good execution on that perimeter blocking. Jimmy Holiday able to pick up the first down.
Under 10 minutes to go until halftime after that 7-yard pickup from Holiday. And off to Crosby. Does not get much. Good job by the run stoppers there for Western Kentucky. A loss of 3.
Chandler Matthews all over that play. Love the conversation about him. This is a guy transferred from Division II Limestone College. And when we asked Coach about how did you find not only Chandler Matthews, but Anthony Johnson Jr., who came from West Florida, both Division II guys, he said, look, our staff, our recruiting department, they do a fantastic job finding these diamonds in the rough. No better example than Chandler Matthews in a big play there.
After the 3-yard loss, it's 2nd and 13. Wiggins tries to jump outside, runs out of room quickly, gets to the 25. After about a 2-yard pickup, it'll be 3rd down and long.
And this is a spot Louisiana Tech, every offense wants to avoid 3rd and long, but especially when you've had the protection issues that Louisiana Tech has had, this is a worst case scenario. 3rd down and 11. Defenders for Western Kentucky will be pinning their ears back. We'll see if they leave the running back, Amiri Wiggins, in to help with protection. And imagine Western Kentucky brings some sort of pressure here.
4 receivers for the Bulldogs. Bullock scans the field, left side. That pass deflected, and Anthony Johnson, the West Florida transfer, you just talked about him a moment ago, nearly had a pick earlier and swats that one down, but we do have a penalty marker out. So we'll see what the infraction is.
There's no foul for offensive pass interference. 4th down.
Good coverage again from Anthony Johnson. This second time that Evan Bullock, fortunate this wasn't an interception. Ball came out of his hand late, trying to get it to Abdul Fattah Ibrahim. An opportunity for a field goal, but that bend but don't break defense, another good example of it for Western Kentucky. They've given up yards, but once it gets right at the edge of the red zone, that's where we've seen them clamp down. Another example, forcing the field goal attempt.
It's going to be a 42-yard attempt. Buck Buchanan just 8 of 12 on field goal attempts this season. That one's got some leg on it, and it's going to make its way through. And La Tech with a couple of field goals, still trailing by 1. 7-6 Western Kentucky on top of Louisiana Tech. Big Red just hanging out up in section 325, watching this Western Kentucky Hilltoppers lead La Tech 7-6 with 8:16 to go until halftime. Let's take a look at the college football playoff poll, powered by Ram Trucks. You see the poll on that left side with the 1 through 12. And then, of course, you see the bracket. Oregon at number 1. Teams with the byes, Texas, BYU, Miami.
Going to get very interesting down the stretch. I know SMU felt slighted, had a couple quality wins, but on the outside looking in right now, it's shaping up. We may end up with just a one-bid league out of the Big 12 and the ACC. And then what do you do with Indiana? I think the surprise team for the entire season.
Easton Messer calling for the fair catch after the kickoff as beg your pardon, Buck Buchanan with a 45-yard field goal to get La Tech to within a point of Western Kentucky. As the Hilltoppers will come back on the field. It was a rough start for the offense, and Caden Veldkamp, a 3-and-out on the first drive. They were shut out in the first quarter, but put together a couple of explosive plays. Veldkamp with a 20-yard quarterback run, and then had a big reception as well down the sideline of Keyshawn Johnson.
See if they get Easton Messer involved here. Doesn't have a catch to this point in the game. Lined up in the slot. Second leading target for this offense.
And we've got a timeout taken. Western Kentucky calling timeout here. As Tyson Helton, I don't know if there's some confusion with him and Veldkamp.
Timeout, Western Kentucky. They're first. Media timeout.
So they'll call a timeout. We'll step aside as well. Back in Bowling Green in a moment.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Chili's 3 for Me, the best $10.99 you can eat. By Graduate Hotels. And by Stanley Steamer. It's not clean until it's Stanley Steamer clean.
Back atop the hill here in Bowling Green, 7-6 Western Kentucky on top of Louisiana Tech. Alex Novario, Taylor McCard, and our entire CBS crew. Happy to have you along for what is a busy day of college football on both CBS and here on CBS Sports Network. Some confusion leading to the timeout. The play clocks had not been operating in the stadium, so they were being kept on the field, and they suddenly came back on as we get a little flea flicker action here. Veldkamp escapes, decides to run it. Penalty marker is out as he dives forward towards the 35-yard line. The penalty flag is back at the 22. And this one coming back.
Offense, number 58. 10-yard penalty, first down.
That's the center, Evan Wibberly, the redshirt sophomore from Edgewood, Kentucky.
Well, this is all designed to get it to Easton Mesher. and right in the middle of the field. What a great job by Isaiah McIlvain. He stays home, comes out of the frame, but that is where Caden Veldkamp was trying to go with the football. Good discipline on the back end by McIlvain to stay home.
So after the 10-yard loss, they're going to end up handing off to Messer here. Former walk-on, forced out of bounds. Getting it to the 23-yard line.
We expected this offense to try and get Easton Messer involved. See them bring him in motion, get him a touch. Again, the second leading receiver. He's also a finalist for the Burlsworth Trophy. Started his career as a walk-on and now a huge part of this Hilltoppers offense.
Call him a Welker-like player for this Western Kentucky team, as Veldkamp looks like either a broken play or just saw the rush come and decided to take off, but did not get much. Got to the 20 and that's it.
He pulled the ball almost like he thought there was going to be an outlet with his tight end or something in the flat. Clearly no one there, and I agree, Alex, that looked like a busted play, now setting up 3rd and a mile.
Loss of 2 on the play, so it's 3rd and 15. Veldkamp fires, dangerous throw. Plenty of white shirts in the vicinity that could have made a play on it. He was looking for Matheson.
Well, Michael Matheson, watch how Matheson shuts this route down right here. See how he sets it down in zone coverage. Looked like Caden Veldkamp felt like he was going to continue this on the move. This will be a great angle at it. Veldkamp is throwing this as though Matheson is going to keep that route moving. Just a miscommunication between quarterback and receiver.
Edwards back deep to receive this punt. So the offense sputters. Kind of a bad punt. Very low in the air. Edwards ends up picking it up and hit immediately. So La Tech, an opportunity to take the lead on this next drive, trailing only by 1. Tomorrow, another outstanding NFL on CBS doubleheader. First, an AFC North showdown between the Ravens and the Steelers. Then all eyes will be on Buffalo. 2 of the AFC's best going head-to-head. Once again, the Chiefs meet the Bills. That's a CBS Sports Sunday. It's the modern-day Brady and Manning, Mahomes and Josh Allen. Look at that head-to-head matchup. Josh Allen looking for the equalizer. That's tomorrow, 4:25 Eastern on CBS. La Tech kind of looking like the Buffalo Bills in these unis. Trailing 7-6, their defense playing well against this Western Kentucky offense here today. Bullock slings it out right side to True Edwards. Another reception for him. Ends up finding some room down that sideline for positive yardage. Picks up about 2 as Upton Stout forces him out.
Alex, I almost said it would have been better for that ball to be incomplete. It's going to be a loss. It's just a 2-yard gain, but an unbelievable job by True Edwards to make anything happen there.
Second down and 8. And Bullock has come out. Holiday is in at quarterback and hands it off to Solo Lewis coming off that right side edge and gets to about midfield. He's going to be close to that first down marker, and they did give it to him. It is a first down. So again, trying some different things at that quarterback spot, going with the direct snap to Jimmy Holiday.
And how about that broken tackle from Solo Lewis coming downhill, delivers the blow to the safety, ends up able to break a tackle, pick up the first down.
They're inside Western Kentucky territory at the 49. Handoff Wiggins. And just keeps those legs churning. And this Louisiana Tech staff wanted a flag. They thought there was a late hit there after they dragged Wiggins out of bounds.
And it should have been a late hit. Devontae Matthews comes over. From our vantage point, I think Amani Givens well out of bounds. You could see Sonny Cumbie not thrilled. Take another look. Watch 14. It's actually from 51, not 14, who was already engaged. Looked like that was Devin Lynch. I think that was a step out of bounds. Fortunate not called if you're Western Kentucky.
Beg your pardon, Givens on that last carry. Once again, it's Wiggins breaking free, gets across the 30, inside the 15, brought out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Another big play. And I gotta say, Taylor, this does not look like the same Louisiana Tech rushing attack we've seen all season.
Not at all. This has been by far the best this running back room specifically has looked all season. We've talked a lot about why Jimmy Holiday has been so effective for them in adding this Wildcat package in the last 5 weeks. But today, the big plays on the running game have all come from running between the tackles with their running backs. Already 132 yards on the ground in the first half.
Above their average, what they've done over the last 5 games, and even that's an improvement from the early part of the season. But they run the ball here on first down and do not get anything. Swallowed up immediately. Marcus Peterson there.
That's a guy that this defensive staff said was the most improved player on their defense. Marcus Patterson, the redshirt sophomore from Crestview, Florida. There's a big spot here. Again, for Western Kentucky, this is one of the best red zone defenses in the country. First in Conference USA, third in the nation. Give up points on just 63% of their possessions.
Wiggins in the backfield. And they'll tighten up the formation here on a second down and goal. Lewis runs out of room, looking to get outside the numbers. And they swallow him up. Upton Stout there for the stop.
There's the best player on your defense showing up when they need him most. Watch Upton Stout comes all the way back across and forces ball carrier back inside. That is a great job in recognition from Upton Stout. Work to that outside shoulder and make Solo Lewis have to cut that back inside. Don't allow him to get the corner.
Almost like a basketball defender, cutting off the edge there, forcing him to go the other way. A loss of 2 on the play, so a third down and goal from the 11. This would be another knockout. They can force him into a field goal attempt. And we get a whistle. And it looks like a timeout taken by Sonny Cumbie.
Louisiana Tech, they're first. 30 seconds.
First timeout taken by La Tech. We'll step aside for 30. Back on the hill in a moment. 2:32 to go until halftime. La Tech wanted to think about it during the break. Come up with a perfect play here on third down and goal from the 11. What are you drawing up here?
I think you've got 2-on-1 at the top. I'm interested in where True Edwards is. Looks like he's in the slot. They scheme something open for 16 here.
They've got Wiggins in the backfield here. Bullock drops, fires over the middle, in and out of the hands, and incomplete. Jimmy Holiday was thinking score on his former team and could not haul it in.
That's one that Jimmy Holiday is going to want back. Bring him across on the shallow cross, but I'm not sure. Watch where 14, Devontae Matthews is. He's trailing him. Even if this ball gets caught, I think Matthews is in a great spot. But obviously, the former Hilltopper, Jimmy Holiday, against his team, that he was here last year, obviously wants to make that play. Another field goal attempt forced for the Hilltopper defense.
This will be from 29 yards. Buck Buchanan slams it through. Buck Buchanan looks a lot more confident kicking the football today. His third field goal today. Came into the game just 8 of 12 on field goal attempts this season, and his misses honestly have come from inside 29 yards.
Kind of been sporadic, but he also has that 57-yarder
right
against North Carolina State earlier in the year. But Alex, I go back to the biggest surprise for me in this entire first half is Louisiana Tech's ability to run the football between the tackles. We talked about it has been such a rotation for them with their offensive line. They came into this game telling us they may play 9 or 10 offensive linemen, but this unit up front has done a really nice job, and then credit to these running backs, breaking tackles, making plays. I think that's part of why they're in a position right now to go into half of the lead.
Well, they're in front 9-7, but really could make the argument too, Taylor, that the defense for Western Kentucky is actually keeping them in the football game because they're coming up with the stops at the end of these drives.
No doubt, and it's that bend but don't break defense that we've talked about. They give up those yards between the 30s. Once it gets on the edge of the red zone and in the red zone, that's where this Western Kentucky defense is at its best.
Cannon sends it long, and it's going to go into the back of the end zone for the touchback. Western Kentucky will have 2 minutes and 25 seconds to try to regain the lead before the half. Coming up on the Ram halftime report, Adam Zucker, Rick Neuheisel, Brian Jones, Aaron Taylor. We've got you covered for a busy Saturday in college football. That's all coming up on the Ram halftime report. Alex DeBario, Taylor McCarg, and our entire CBS crew here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. A huge Conference USA matchup. La Tech, I know they're 3-6, but they've got one of the most talented defenses in the group of 5 as we get a run on first down, and not much there from Elijah Young.
And this is an interesting spot also if you're Western Kentucky. You at a minimum want to pick up a first down. What you don't want to have happen is a 3-and-out here, because with the 2 timeouts and the 2-minute timeout, you give good field position if you don't pick up a first down back to Louisiana Tech.
Loss of 2 on the play from Young. And looks like Tyson Helton wants to talk it over. Two-minute timeout here in Bowling Green. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network. It's built by the Home Depot.
They're all the same to me.
We're at the 2-minute timeout. Louisiana Tech up 9-7 on Western Kentucky. Kind of surprising a lot of folks right now is Western Kentucky tied atop of the Conference USA standings at 5-0 with Jacksonville State, and that game is looming in your final game of the Western Kentucky regular season. Louisiana Tech, you know, we talked about it, that, and even Tyson Helton in his press conference earlier in the week said, this is a talented team we're facing. Don't let their record fool you. And what we have right here is Louisiana Tech on top, but a huge second down play as Elijah Young catches it and gets across the 35, and that's close to a first down. Looks like they're going to mark it. Nope.
Just short. We've got him 3rd and short, and this is a big play here.
Remember, Western Kentucky elected to receive the opening kickoff, so Louisiana Tech will get the ball back to start the second half.
Timeout, Western Kentucky. 30 seconds.
Tyson Helton calling a timeout here on a 3rd and 1.
He's not happy.
You think is he not happy because of the spot?
Can't tell if it's originally it looked like he was getting on to some of his own guys, but now with our head official clearly frustrated, would imagine that's due to the spot.
So they spot the ball. I have to tell you, from where I saw the original spot, I thought he got to the 35-yard line, which is what they needed for the first down.
I think that's where the frustration comes from Tyson Helton. And because they had to use that timeout, Louisiana Tech with 2 timeouts as well, this is another look. Again, needs the 35-yard line.
Well, because he went up in the air, he didn't actually hit the ground until he well past the 35-yard line, and then they do not get it. He gets snuffed in the backfield. Jacob Fields coming up with a big tackle for the TFL.
And C.J. Harris involved as well.
And Tyson Helton is fuming right now.
That was a huge play, Alex. The fact that that was not reviewed on the previous play on that second down, the fact that that was not reviewed, this is another look at it. See, look at all those defenders rallying to the football. Great job by C.J. Harris and Jacob Fields. But now, like you mentioned, Alex, because Western Kentucky not able to pick up that first down and Louisiana Tech able to save a timeout, they've got 1 minute and 22 seconds and a timeout. And again, they get the ball coming out of second half. That was a massive series of events there for Western Kentucky to not pick up that first down.
And Tyson Helton is thinking about all that calculus in his head right now as well. And And one of the reasons that 1 yard that did not get reviewed, that really honestly should have, was such an important part of this game. Penalty flag comes out as True Edwards makes the catch, and he's got a lot of real estate in front of him, hurdles over the punter Cole Maynard after he crosses midfield, but the penalty flag over near the Louisiana Tech sideline, all the way back at the 32.
And from where this was called, I think this is coming back.
During the kick, personal foul, face mask, return team, number 1. The penalty is half the distance from the end of the kick and first down.
That is brutal if you're Louisiana Tech, and for Western Kentucky, you are so thankful for that call now. Instead of Louisiana Tech starting that drive near midfield, they're marking this off half the distance from the 20. Louisiana Tech now having to start their drive at the 10-yard line.
Penalty was on Jordan Morgan, the defensive back from Universal City, Texas, the UNLV transfer. So this one coming all the way back inside the 10-yard line. It's right here on the bottom of your screen.
The call was even before that. I think he's trying to get into position. You see the face mask grab. I think you'll see one potential shot here from Louisiana Tech, and if they don't get some traction on this drive, burn some clock and take it into half.
See what Sonny Cumbie and company decide to drop here is Amani Givens with the carry on first down, pickup of about 4. It'll be second down. We're under a minute to play. And there doesn't seem to be a sense of urgency with Louisiana Tech right now.
And agree with this, right? From where they're at on the field, you have a lead on the road and you get the ball coming out of half. The only thing you don't want if you're Louisiana Tech is to give Western Kentucky the ball back with decent field position. But don't mind this, burning this clock and taking it into half.
So second down and 6. This is a spot for the throw down the field, Taylor?
I would not. I agree with this. Keep it on the ground.
A couple of big hits delivered. Pick up some positive yardage, getting to the 15 there. Not much for Amani Givens.
And what you do there in that situation is you're running the football. If you pop it, then great. You get into your 2-minute situation. Otherwise, let this clock burn down. And Louisiana Tech, you've got to be thrilled taking this into half with a lead. Western Kentucky, I'm sure a lot of frustration will be shared by Tyson Helton in that locker room.
A lot of head scratching. It is homecoming here in Bowling Green for the Hilltoppers, celebrating a national runner-up for their cross-country championship from 50 years ago. But right now they're watching their Hilltoppers in the midst of an upset. 9-7 the score. Adam Zucker, Rick Neuheisel, Brian Jones, and Aaron Taylor standing by. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Back atop the hill here in Bowling Green. Get ready to start the second half here in Conference USA. Western Kentucky trailing Louisiana Tech 9-7. As we welcome you back into the broadcast booth, it is homecoming here in Bowling Green. Alex Sabario alongside the winningest quarterback in Rice University history. That's Taylor McCard. Taylor, a lot of folks probably surprised looking at this score right now. Western Kentucky, such a good offense. They're undefeated in conference play. La Tech, not a great record. But I told you coming in, this is a pretty good defense, and Western Kentucky's singing.
It is. Louisiana Tech's playing fantastic on the defensive side, but also clean on the offensive side. No turnovers, not a ton of penalties, and they're running the ball effective. And that's been the biggest thing to me. Over 6 yards a carry as a unit, and Amiri Wiggins over 11 yards a carry in that first half. That's been the biggest difference to me for Louisiana Tech and why they've got the lead right now.
Yeah, the running attack certainly a surprise in this one, but you mentioned it. We talked about it near the end of the half. The fact that Louisiana Tech has 9 points is actually huge for Western Kentucky. You talk about the bend and don't break defense of Western Kentucky. So it's still kind of all bets are off in the way this could go in the second half. But Western Kentucky's got to figure something out on offense. La Tech, again, receiving the kickoff to start this second half. Western Kentucky had won the toss and elected to receive. They're not one of these defer teams, I guess. Louisiana Tech will have pretty decent field position to start off this first drive of the second half. Let's take a look at the Chase first half stats, though, Taylor. And there you talked about it, the rushing attack. Louisiana Tech already above their season average in rushing yards per game. And Western Kentucky's rushing offense has been non-existent.
And the two other things outside of the rushing attack, 0 for 5 on third down. That's got to improve if you're Louisiana Tech, but also huge for Louisiana Tech. They have won the time of possession battle almost 2-1, 19 minutes to just over 10 minutes, playing a little bit of keep away from the Hilltoppers.
Evan Bullock back in at quarterback, and they'll run it here on first down. And again, some great run. This time it's Amani Givens. And we've been talking about just this running back by committee. And even the Louisiana Tech coaches were kind of honest with us, as we have to give it to multiple guys as they get to the line quickly, and it will be a first down run as they hand it to Givens one more time. We kind of have to keep guys fresh and change guys up, and that's going to be our running attack.
And co-offensive coordinator Nathan Young talks about our running back room. We have good running backs, but we don't have a dynamic playmaker that's going to break a ton of tackles. Today, however, that's been Omiri Wiggins. We've also seen some of Jimmy Holiday in the Wildcat, but they haven't needed that near as much because they've been so effective running the football between the tackles.
Givens with a 5-yard pickup there on second down to pick up the first, so 1st and 10 from the 36. Bullock taking his time, takes the snap, handoff here to Wiggins, trying to get outside the numbers, and he gets to the 40-yard line in the process. About a 4-yard pickup there.
And I'll go back to credit to this offensive line. I'll say it again, when we had our meetings yesterday, this staff talked to us about, we went down the lineup. They gave us 10 names on the offensive line that we could see today. You'd never really see that. You'll see 6, 7 that a lot of teams carry, but there's been so much turnover for this offensive line unit for the Bulldogs. As you see another example of the Wildcat here from Jimmy Holiday, but offensive line play has been solid today for the Bulldogs.
2nd down and 6. La Tech with a 9-7 lead, opening drive of the second half here, and again it's Holiday lined up at quarterback, decides to take it himself, and trying to get that extra little push to get to that 45-yard line. Is going to be just shy of it to the 44, so 4-yard pickup there from Jimmy Holiday, the former Hilltopper.
And he was also a former high school quarterback, and so it's not just his ability to run the football. They have some wrinkles off of it where they'll get him on the edge. There's one read, he can throw the football or tuck it and run. But a big spot here. This would be huge for Western Kentucky if they can get this unit off the field.
He threw for 37 touchdowns in high school, 3,500 passing yards. Jimmy Holiday. Bullock back in at quarterback. And handoff. That's going to be close to the first down. Wiggins takes a hit, and they are going to move the chains, and it is a first down.
Good job, good vision following the big tight end, Eli Finley. Bring him across, creates that lead blocker. And credit again, this unit for Louisiana Tech leaning forward. You're not seeing a lot of penetration from the defenders up front for Western Kentucky. Good opening drive to start this third quarter.
And that is their first pickup on third down today. 12 minutes to go, third quarter. Empty backfield here for Bullock. Scans, fires, gets it to Edwards. Gain of about 4.
That's been got another example of it. A look for Western Kentucky almost every time that Louisiana Tech goes to empty with no running back in the backfield. They check to some sort of pressure. Saw it again right there. Good job from Evan Bullock recognizing it, get the ball out of his hands quickly. But I think we'll see more pressure in this second half. I think Western Kentucky's going to try to disrupt this Louisiana Tech attack, try and get those negative plays going in the opposite direction.
Three seconds on the play clock. Bullock running out of time, takes the snap. Feels the pressure, here it comes! Ball nearly came loose. A big-time play from Sebastian Benjamin, the fifth-year senior from Philadelphia.
It says one of the toughest kids on their defense, and another pressure look. We talked about it coming out of half. Expected more pressure, saw the field pressure, but this was really from Sebastian Benjamin winning from that boundary side. He's able to beat Daniel Keys at that left tackle spot, and that's the type of negative play Western Kentucky's defense missed in that first half.
Tyson Summers raved about his toughness. Benjamin said he came back early from an elbow injury. And they're excited to have him back on the field as the penalty flags come out on a 3rd down and a mile here.
False start. Offense. Number 51. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That's the left tackle, Daniel Keys, the Stephen F. Austin transfer.
He just gave up the sack a second ago to Sebastian Benjamin, going a little early.
So it'll be 3rd down and 20 now. The drive looked promising early, but now they'll just try to salvage some positive yardage here and play the field position game as Wiggins forced backwards after getting to the 38. And the punting unit's going to come on here for Louisiana Tech after the 1-yard pickup.
And all set up by that sack by that guy right there, Sebastian Benjamin, able to rally as part of the tackle on running back Amiri Wiggins. But on that 2nd down play, Sebastian Benjamin beating Daniel Keys on that left side. That sack is what killed the drive, and another penalty. This is going to be a false start on the punt unit. You don't see that a ton.
False start. Offense. Number 23. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Patrick Ray, as good as they come, is getting guys inside the 20. Or getting the ball, I should say, inside the 20. He had 16 coming into today with 6 touchbacks. KD Hutchinson back deep to receive. Hutchinson, fair catch at the 30. So Western Kentucky finally has a chance to get the offense back onto the field. 2-point deficit. Let's jump into the Wayback Machine, Mr. Peabody. Let's go back to last meeting in Ruston last October. For the Hilltoppers, it was Austin Reed and Malachi Corley putting on a show in Ruston. That led the way. Corley, 8 catches, 207 yards, and 3 touchdowns for Western Kentucky. An interception with 1:47 left sealed the Western Kentucky victory, 35-28 in a shootout down in Louisiana. Look at the all-time series history. Series tied at 5 apiece. We saw that score from last season. Western Kentucky winners of the last 2 in the series. As Velkamp back to pass here on 1st down, slings it, and a good pass play there on 1st down. And I'll tell you what, Taylor, they really need to get this offense going vertical.
And a great route from Bryce Childress. They bring him all the way across the field. One of the guys that they told us in meetings, we've got to get him going a little bit more. That was a great pass and catch to start this drive.
And we get a handoff here on 1st down. It's Elijah Young, who scored the touchdown, the Mizzou transfer. Picks up 3 there on 1st down.
Alex, we talked about it in our keys to the game on being patient if you're Western Kentucky, and I think this is the drive. You see that 1st down completion. Louisiana Tech has forced them to be patient at this point in the game. They haven't given up those chunk plays. Western Kentucky hasn't run the ball very well, and an opportunity there after that big 1st down completion.
On play action, here comes the rush. They'll dump it off quickly to Young, and across midfield, pick up about 2, and it's going to be 3rd down. What has made this defense difficult for Velkamp today?
Well, it's the structure in large part. It's a 3-safety look, and like we talked about, it looks appealing, like you can run the ball between the tackles, but really you've already got that 6th hat ready to run fit. And then on the back end, coverage has been sticky all game. Cedric Woods has done a great job. DeMarcus Griffin-Taylor, Jacob Fields, we've called his name a bunch. It's been a great effort on the back end from the Bulldogs.
Big 3rd down and 5. Velkamp quickly swings it out to Messer, and he's got it and picks up the 1st down. Colby Fields there with the stop. But a big 3rd down pickup there for Western Kentucky. 6-yard pickup there for Messer. They get to the line quickly. Now inside Louisiana Tech territory.
This is a look they like to throw a double post off of if you see him take a shot here.
Camp. The handoff here to Young.
That exact look There's a tight end attached to the boundary side. They hit big post touchdown over the top against New Mexico State. Won't be surprised. Kept it on the ground there. We may see that look again down the line. But this, to me, to this point in the game, has been the best complete drive, moving the football forward for the Hilltoppers on offense.
2-yard pickup there before Blake Thompson came up with the stop. Another delayed handoff to Young, and only gets a yard. Colby Fields there for the stop. It'll be 3rd down and long here for the Hilltoppers.
And this is where Louisiana Tech thrives on defense. Won't be surprised if you see some sort of pressure here, because it's an odd front, just 3 down linemen. They can bring these linebackers in the secondary from all different places. We'll see if they dial up anything exotic for pressure here on 3rd and long.
Belkamp steps up, feels the pressure, fires over the middle. It is caught. That's KD Hutchinson with the reception, but he's short of the marker at the 35-yard line. So it'll be 4th down. And actually, they're going to give him only the 36-yard line.
And in an interesting spot on the field, they're right at the edge of Lucas Carnero's range. Would not be surprised to see them go for it here, although they would have the wind at their back if they kicked it going in this direction.
So it's a 4th down and 3. Showing the rush, pass quickly, and the pass is caught. A 1st down to Michael Matheson. I thought that was broken, looking for Easton Messer, and Matheson was there to make the grab.
Well, this is the side of the field you want to attack. DeMarcus Griffin-Taylor, physical player, but he's not as good in coverage as Cedric Woods on the other side. It's soft coverage, and that's an easy pitch and catch. Even though it was a tight window, that's a throw that Caden Veltkamp very comfortable with, and a huge conversion.
7-yard pickup to get the 1st down, and a 4th down conversion. As George Hart, the ball carrier there. That one had me fooled. I thought it was going for Messer there, and Matheson was right there to make that grab. It looks like we've got 2 players with their face masks stuck together. Rodney Newsom Jr. tangled up there with Colby Fields.
That's, Alex, you had it exactly right. They got those face masks locked together. Both of them saying, I'm trying to get off the pile, I promise.
As long as they didn't have to bring the buzzsaw out to take those face masks off. Belkamp slings it right side. Elijah Young breaking free, delivers ahead as he gets inside the 15-yard line.
And good patience and decision-making from Caden Belkamp. They want to throw this over the top to Keyshawn Johnson, but it's not there. Watch how he works through his progression, get it down to your running back in space, give him a catchable ball. The rest of that is Elijah Young to pick up the 1st down. Slow, methodical drive for Western Kentucky. They've had no negative plays and a really good possession to open up this 3rd quarter for the Hilltoppers.
11-yard pickup. What do you think about Veltkamp's throwing mechanics?
I think he's got a strong arm, and he trusts himself, has a lot of belief in his arm talent.
On the carry, Elijah Young with a 3-yard pickup.
The thing that I love about Veltkamp is that his dad is the strength coach, the
right.
head strength and conditioning coach here at Western Kentucky. And this staff talked to us about, look, this guy, he is in the weight room all the time. He's in the facility all the time. And if you see him in person,
I was going to say, he went down to the field.
He's 6'6", 240 pounds. There was a point in his career where they thought maybe it would make sense to move him to tight end. He's got that kind of physical frame. Oh, by the way, a really strong arm as well.
That was a conversation as early as this last offseason. Again, this is a program that's used to going out and finding quarterbacks. As Veltkamp, with plenty of time, escapes, dumps it off, overshoots his man. He was looking for Johnson. Just went a little bit too high. But Johnson was right there for 6.
And he had Keyshawn Johnson open the entire way. They're trying to bring Keyshawn Johnson, they're going to bring him all the way across like this. And look at the first window right Now is when that ball needs to come out. And it's a miss from Veldkamp, trying to get it to him on the move, misses him there again. But that entire way, Keyshawn Johnson was open and should have been a touchdown for the Hilltoppers.
They need to get to the 5 to pick up a first down. Veldkamp fires to Messer at the 5, and let's see if they give him that 5-yard line. They do. Have not signaled to move the change. Nope, they say he's short. It is a 4th down and inches. Messer had it initially, but I think he stepped backwards there, Taylor.
This will be an interesting decision. Obviously, a field goal, you take the lead, and I think Tyson Helton wants to think about this. With where this game has gone, it'll be interesting to see, do they decide to go for it on 4th and short?
So they'll talk it over. We'll step aside as well. 2:11 to go, 3rd quarter, 4th and 1 coming up. Back in Bowling Green, 2:11 to go in the 3rd quarter. Big 4th and 1 coming up for Western Kentucky, who's trailing La Tech 9-7. Alex DeBarrio, Taylor McCarg, our entire CBS crew. Okay, 4th and 1. You're very close. You're about at the 6-yard line here, Taylor. What's Western Kentucky decided on?
I like that they're going for it here. I like the aggressiveness, trying to keep a spark going. I would run Caden Veldkamp, but keep it away from David Blay in the interior. Don't like a quarterback sneak here, but something working off the B or C gap, get him a little bit wide. And remember, Caden Veldkamp, 6'6", 240. You add that extra hat in the quarterback run game, that's where I would go here if I'm offensive coordinator Will Friend.
This is the 14th play of the drive. On 4th and 1, Veldkamp is running. He's going to get stopped. It looked like he was going to have some room to get there, and then the white shirts collapsed on him. A massive 4th down stop for La Tech.
Well, they ran exactly what I asked for. It just gets stuffed off the left side. A great job of penetration, that left side of the defense, and a huge 4th down stop. Look at the entire left side of that defense rallying to the football. All those white hats getting to the quarterback. Unbelievable effort from the Bulldogs defense.
To Marcus Griffin Taylor there to help with the stop. Bulldogs up by 2 after the stop. Well, La Tech with a huge stop, Taylor.
Well, Jaden Burnett is the unsung hero of this play. He's on the left side. Watch how he crashes down, and then they're going to bring right guard Rodney Newsome around. Watch 65. He has to run the hump, and that's what causes the penetration for Louisiana Tech. That subtle play from Jaden Burnett blew that play up, and a great job getting off the field for the Bulldogs defense.
It's a 2-point lead for Louisiana Tech. They get the football back, but tough field position here, but it's coming off a huge defensive stop for them. Ball carriers Wiggins here on 1st down. La Tech, if you watch them on the field coming into this game, Taylor, the mood could either be interpreted as focused or listless.
It felt very much on the field like Western Kentucky had all the energy. Again, it's homecoming here today in Bowling Green, Kentucky. But this effort from the Bulldogs for a team that they've got to win out to make it to a bowl game, they have not backed down at all today against Western Kentucky.
Running game has picked it up. The offensive line has played very well, all things considered, as we get a run from Crosby here on 2nd down as they get to the 11.
And again, as a reminder, this is a team for Louisiana Tech. They should have won a week ago. They lost on a Hail Mary to Jacksonville State. As you see, an area that they've really struggled the last few years. 1-23 on the road. Played a ton of close games. We've touched on that. 5 losses this year inside of a score. This is familiar territory for them. If you're a Bulldogs fan, you're hoping they're able to get over the hump and close out a game.
And remember, they're starting a redshirt freshman quarterback in Evan Bullock, who was not the starter coming out of camp. Still figuring things out on offense as Crosby gets the carry here on 3rd down. Another short yard pickup, and it's going to be 4th down.
Interesting series of calls there for the Bulldogs. Very conservative, kept it on the ground all 3 possessions, all 3 calls rather. Interesting they didn't try and attempt anything through the air, even on 3rd down.
You know, Sonny Cumbie, of course, a disciple of Mike Leach. And the air raid, you think a lot of points when you think about the air raid and offense and tempo, not a lot of runs between the tackles, etc. as Ray. And ball gets loose, it gets muffed, and Louisiana Tech has the football. A special teams blunder from Western Kentucky as Amari Wiggins comes up with it.
Louisiana Tech, first down.
Beg your pardon, it's Fields, Jacob Fields, who came up with it.
Well, it had no turnovers to this point in the game. And K.D. Hutchinson, first turnover of the game on a muffed punt. Right when it felt like Western Kentucky, they forced a 3 and out. They're going to get good field position. Louisiana Tech back on the field, capitalizing on the first turnover of the day.
So a gift of field position and a possession for Louisiana Tech. Bullock throwing it this time, rolling to his right, dumps it off to Wiggins, breaks one tackle, brought down at about the 49-yard line. That was the final play of this third quarter. Darius Thomas with the tackle here. Louisiana Tech surprising everyone here in Bowling Green on homecoming. Can they finish the spoil job? They're up 9-7. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, built by the Home Depot. Let's look at the game summary brought to you by Graduate Hotels as we get ready to start the fourth quarter here in Bowling Green. A 9-7 lead for Louisiana Tech. A phenomenal rushing performance by that running back by committee, but a pretty evenly matched game, Taylor.
Really good defense on both sides. I think that turnover you see at the bottom, that was the muffed punt just a minute ago from K.D. Hutchinson. Let's see if Louisiana Tech's able to capitalize on a game that's been pretty evenly matched on both sides.
2-point lead for Louisiana Tech. They're winning without a touchdown. They get Jimmy Holiday involved here, going from right to left in motion, and picks up 2, and it's going to be 1 yard shy of the marker, so we'll have a 3rd down and 1 coming up. I'll go to the jumbo package, and they're just going to run Bullock, and he picks up the 1st down.
And Louisiana Tech not changing personnel, so it's a good job getting back on the ball quickly. They're able to capitalize on a lighter defensive line. Remember, if you change personnel, the defense is able to match. Good job getting back on the ball quickly, taking advantage of that, picking up the 1st down with a quarterback sneak.
So 1st down here for the Bulldogs. We're in the fourth quarter with a minute gone by. Hand off. That's Givens. Breaks a tackle, spins off another, and leans forward for a gain of 8.
Another good job by this running back room. Monty Givens that time. This is designed to be between the tackles, really at the A gap. It's stuffed, and this is really nice vision, bouncing it to his left side. We've talked about it all game, but Alex, to me, that's by far the most impressive thing we've seen today is the running back room for Louisiana Tech. You get a wildcat look here from Jimmy Holiday.
Jimmy Holiday in there. Givens, by the way, 11 carries for 70 yards on the day. Nearly 6.5 per carry. Here's Holiday. Takes it himself after faking the handoff and picks up another 1st down for the Bulldogs.
This is the exact kind of drive the Bulldogs want to put together. Stay on the field, keep away from Western Kentucky. The only thing they haven't been able to do today on the offensive side is convert a drive in the red zone to a touchdown. They've got the 3 field goals, but in the red zone, that's where Western Kentucky, around this spot on the field, edge of the red zone, they tighten up.
On 1st down, they'll put the tight end Finley in motion. Pass complete to Edwards. Has been quiet so far in the second half. Gets inside the 30, where Darius Thomas is there to stop him.
Eli Finley a little slow to get up, hobbling around, but able to stay in. And now Louisiana Tech choosing to huddle. Plenty of time on the play clock, but like we said, they're going to try and burn off as much time as they can. They've dominated time of possession, well over 10 minutes to this point in the game, and the advantage to Louisiana Tech.
7-yard pickup there from Edwards. And there's just churning some clock here. Handoff. It looks like we got another first down for Louisiana Tech.
Needed the 24. This line judge at the bottom of the screen comes in immediately, signals for the first down. This long drive, methodical, keeping it on the ground. Only completion has been on that screen to the outside to True Edwards. This is the spot, we'll say it again, where Louisiana Tech haven't been as effective, and the defense for Western Kentucky's tightened up in this area of the field.
Maury Wiggins has come off the field. He's limping over near the Louisiana Tech sideline. So Amani Givens is into the game, and look at him dive forward for that extra yard. Gets inside the 15-yard line. It's going to be about a half-yard shy of the first down marker.
And this is where, as an offensive lineman, you love this spot on the field. You can see the hands on the hips for the front seven for Western Kentucky. They've been on the field a ton today. A lot of plays on this drive. An offensive lineman, this is where you want to lean on that D-line and take over up front.
Second and less than 1. Marcus Crosby coming up with another first down for Louisiana Tech after the 2-yard pickup.
See Eli Finley check back in the game. Boy, Bracken's in as well. And some of the bigger bodies coming in the game. I don't think there's any question with the way they've run the football on this drive. I would imagine we see more of that heavy dose of rushing attack. Marquise Crosby now at running back.
Crosby again. Inside the 10. 4-yard pickup there. And Taylor, you got to admit, I mean, Tyson Helton's got to be thinking, this is not the type of offense we expected to see from Louisiana Tech today.
It's not, and I tell you what, this drive and this style of play, it has completely sucked the energy out of this building. This homecoming crowd for Western Kentucky, it is silent in this stadium right now as Louisiana Tech has just continued to churn the football down the field, running the football.
Another handoff here to Crosby. And I thought Nathan had a very interesting perspective. We were talking about running plays under center and how so many teams don't even practice plays under center. He's like, well, you got to think about it. If you're going to take a ball under center and hand it off, you're handing it to the running back 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. If you're doing it from the shotgun, it's 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So what's the real difference there?
A lot of purists that'll argue that point. Interesting, 3rd and 7, back to the Wildcat with Jimmy Holiday.
So Holiday on 3rd down and 6, keeps it himself, squeezes forward. He needed to get inside the 5. He's going to be short. Darius Thomas there for the stop. It's going to be 4th down. Only give him credit for 2 yards on that play. Don't think Louisiana Tech happy with the spot, but they still would have been well short. Buck Buchanan is on for the field goal attempt.
I think if we had seen that get to 4th and 1, 4th and 2, Bulldogs would have stayed on the field, but like the decision, try to take the points here.
Be a 25-yard attempt here from Buchanan, and he smacks that one through. 12-7, Louisiana Tech doing it with field goals. Today's play of the game is brought to you by Chili's, and it's a massive 4th down stop by the Louisiana Tech defense.
Some of the guys that called their name throughout this game, DeMarcus Griffin Taylor, Jacob Fields, they've both been huge. Unsung hero also for this defense for the Bulldogs. David Blay, I think maybe the best defensive tackle in Conference USA. Get a look at both defensive coordinators, Jeremiah Johnson and Tyson Summers, and this has been a battle between these two defenses. It's been mostly a clean game other than the muffed punt, just one turnover, but fantastic defensive football for both of these units.
Yeah, the chess match from these two defensive coordinators has been fantastic. Known Tyson Summers a couple of years at this point, covering Conference USA here on CBS, and Jeremiah Johnson coming over from Northern Iowa in the offseason, really trying to reinvent this Louisiana Tech defense because they were awful defensively last year. And he's done this, he's made them tough, he's made them physical. There's some things that they would like to clean up. Certainly a lot of penalties on the defensive side, but Louisiana Tech, a very different defensive football team this season.
No doubt, and this three safety look has given this offense, and Caden Veldkamp fits today.
Veldkamp, oh, nearly has that one intercepted on the defensive line.
Looked like Michael Clark again. First play of the game, Michael Clark had a tip on a screen. This is another good example of it. If you're not getting home, exactly like you're taught as a defensive lineman, get those hands up. Michael Clark almost came away with the interception on that one.
Michael Clark has been busy today. The graduate student from Fort Worth, Texas. Veldkamp lost the football, has to come down with it. And this Western Kentucky offense looks out of sorts today.
And it's getting a little bit restless. And it's amazing for a unit that has not had trouble scoring points, down less than a touchdown. But the energy, talked about it a minute ago, completely sucked out of this building. Sideline for Western Kentucky, not a lot of activity and out of sorts on offense like you mentioned.
So it's a 3rd down and 18 for this Western Kentucky offense with 7:27 and counting remaining in the football game. Veldkamp dumps it off. Pass complete to Keyshawn Johnson as he gets across the 20 to about the 22-yard line, but still well short of the first down marker. The punting unit's going to come on.
All set up by that fumbled snap on 2nd down. And this defensive performance for Louisiana Tech continues, a 3-and-out. You'd imagine this is the direction, not a ton of wind, but Western Kentucky punting back into the wind here. I think Louisiana Tech will have good field position, opportunity with less than 7 minutes. They could put this game away potentially with another score.
Pretty good punt as True Edwards has to backpedal. Here comes the return across the 40, sneaks away from a defender, gets up in the air, looking like Superman after he crossed midfield, trying to get to the 45-yard line. So excellent field position for the Bulldogs coming up. They've got the lead, 12-7 over Western Kentucky. College football continues here on CBS Sports Network. Air Force hosting Oregon State is next, followed by Ashton Genty and number 13 Boise State traveling to San Jose State in a Mountain West battle. And at 7 Eastern, that's San Diego State and UNLV cap the night off at 10:30. That's all coming up here on CBS Sports Network. And take a look at, well, one of the top Heisman candidates in Ashton Genty and how he compares to the 1988 Heisman Trophy winner Barry Sanders.
Still over 7 yards a carry this season for Ashton Genty. Just unbelievable. That's a big matchup coming up later on CBS Sports Network against San Jose State. That should be a good one.
How about this? Louisiana Tech trying to play spoiler on homecoming and potentially spoiler for the Western Kentucky season. Zamani Givens, the ball carrier here, getting close to the sticks for yet another La Tech first down. It's going to be just shy of it, about 2 yards shy.
And if you're just joining us, what you saw there on the first down call, expect more of that from Louisiana Tech. Their ability to run the football in the interior between the tackles, it's been there all game. They come back to it. They've even got an extra heavy in right now. They've got 6 offensive linemen in the game right now for this run package.
Boy, you would have never thought this team runs the air raid. Handoff here to Givens. Anthony Brackenridge comes up with the stop. What do you think Mike Leach is saying right now up in heaven, looking at his former quarterback, Sonny Cumbie?
You're just happy. Doesn't matter how you win. And I think that goes back to the decision from Sonny Cumbie to pass off play calling duties to Nathan Young, having that belief in your staff to say, you know what, it's not going the way that we need it to. Let's make some changes. They've run the football more effectively in the back half of the season, and this has by far been their best rushing performance of the season.
Just an incredible. It's almost like a different team offensively right now. Approaching 5 minutes to go in this one. Handoff again to Givens.
And it was an area that shouldn't come as a total surprise for Western Kentucky. If you remember a week ago against New Mexico State, they gave up more than 300 yards on the ground in New Mexico State. Now, they created 5 turnovers, but if you look at how this game has played out today, Louisiana Tech running the football well and no turnovers. And I think that's how you end up in this spot where they've got a chance here. They have, the way they've run the football, it's not impossible. They could bleed off the remaining 4 minutes of this clock if Western Kentucky can't figure out a way to get a stop against the run.
4.5 to play. La Tech looking to put the finishing touches on a monumental upset here in Conference USA. Givens, the carry, dragging some red shirts with him as he picks up another first down to the 25-yard line. Devontae Matthews finally able to bring him down, the transfer from Nicholls State. But another first down here for Louisiana Tech.
18 first downs. Finally able, didn't have any third down conversions early in the game, but right now it's not even getting to third down. A lot of these first down conversions are on first and second down with their ability, how effective they are running the football right now.
218 rushing yards as a team for Louisiana Tech this afternoon. Another handoff to Givens. All right, Taylor, at what point, if you're Coach Helton, are you using your timeouts?
I think after this set of downs, meaning if Louisiana Tech ends up picking up another first down, that's when those timeouts come into play. Best case at this point for Western Kentucky, you get a stop here, you force the field goal, because remember, even if they convert another field goal and it goes to 15-7, still just a one-score game with the 2-point conversion. I don't think you use them yet if you're Tyson Helton with those timeouts.
Most rushing yards La Tech has had in a game prior to this one is 222 against Middle Tennessee back in October. Pass complete right side. Drew Edwards gets the reception, stopped by DeMarco Williams.
We'll have at least one play remaining before the 2-minute timeout. Also right on the edge, within range for Buck Buchanan, but this still is no gimme, even though he's been perfect on the day.
Taylor, I might have used the timeout there.
I think still having 2 remaining, I'm fine keeping those, but you have to get a stop here if you're Western Kentucky, obviously.
Here on 3rd down and 9. Handoff to Holiday. They've got him wrapped up, and the former Hilltopper was going nowhere, and that was massive there for Darius Thomas.
Alex, that was huge, because that going backwards for a 7-yard loss. I think we're already on the edge. Talking about with Buck Buchanan's range. Now this becomes a difficult field goal for Buck Buchanan.
A massive loss here.
All coming down to the wire. Got another field goal attempt when we come back for Buck Buchanan. And a good one here in Bowling Green.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Chase. Make more of what's yours. And by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
4th down and 15, and Buck Buchanan is coming on to try to extend this Louisiana Tech lead. A 48-yard field goal attempt. He's 2 for 3 this season from 40 and beyond. It's up in the air and it's blocked. Hilltoppers come up with a massive stop on special teams. with the swat. And with less than 2 minutes to go and 2 timeouts remaining, there is still hope on homecoming afternoon here on the Hill.
There had been no energy in this building for 2 quarters. And Hosea Wheeler with the play of the day for the Hilltoppers. Life back in the building. An opportunity for Western Kentucky to drive down and win this game when we come back.
Back in Bowling Green after the 2-minute timeout and a massive special team stop from Western Kentucky.
Right up the middle from Hosea Wheeler. See the look on Buck Buchanan's face. Had been perfect to this point today. And gut-wrenching if you're a Bulldogs fan who, again, 5 one-score losses to this point in the season.
Not much offense this afternoon for Western Kentucky, but they've got a shot. Veldkamp decides to take it himself, a design quarterback run, and he picks up about 3 or 4 yards here, and it'll be second down.
And this is where you're happy you still have those 2 timeouts. Plenty of time for Western Kentucky to go through their full operation here on a 2-minute drill.
Veldkamp from Bowling Green. Fires and a little tangled up there, and here comes the penalty flag. Cedric Woods tangled up there with Dalvin Smith.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 11. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
It's interesting where that call came from. It was from the back judge across the field, not the field judge, and that's where the field judge closer to this play. We'll see. To me, with where that ball is going, I think that's uncatchable. I would not have made that call, especially the back judge throwing that flag from across the play.
Veldkamp just going to dump it off as he was feeling the pressure, and that's going to be intentional
grounding. I think, not sure there's anyone in the area. It looked like it was supposed to be a screen to Elijah Young, but he didn't get out. It's not really in the direction of anyone on that side of the ball.
And the Louisiana Tech coaches are jumping up and down, pleading for that intentional grounding call. Sonny Cumbie.
There's no foul for intentional grounding. Number 3 for the offense was in the area. Second down.
Well, and I completely disagree, because number 3, watch where Elijah Young goes. Number 3 gets caught in the traffic here. He's nowhere in the area. Elijah Young is turned around and is blocking. I mean, that's a horrendous call from this crew. Elijah Young has his back turned to the play, trying to block, doesn't get out in the screen. And that's the receiver that this crew is saying was in the area. I think that was a miss.
So a gift, no call. Here's Veldkamp on second down, feeling the pressure, and he goes down. Number 90, David Blay. We've been talking about him all afternoon. The best defensive player on that Louisiana Tech line. Minute 15 to go. Big play coming up for Western Kentucky. You're watching college football presented by the Home Depot. Let's revisit our keys to the game, brought to you by Stanley Steamer.
Well, the biggest one on offense for Western Kentucky, we said they needed to be patient. I think maybe it's been too patient. Those explosives on the offensive side have not come. The defenses for both of these units, I think, have done a fantastic job. La Tech specifically. And then on offense for Louisiana Tech, they did start fast. We had the field goals, especially in the first half. But for Western Kentucky, if there was ever a time to create those explosives, it's right now.
So third down and 15. Certainly 4-down territory for Western Kentucky. You trying to pick up a chunk, or you're trying to get it all here?
Well, this pressure look that they're showing, they've traditionally backed out of. I don't think they'll end up bringing pressure here. I think this will be a 3-man rush.
4 receivers. Veldkamp steps up, looking long, down the left side. He's got a man, has to come back to the football. Dalvin Smith It was a little bit underthrown. Cedric Woods was in on the coverage there, who got called for the interference earlier for getting tangled up with him. No penalty this time, and it is 4th down and 15.
And he had his receiver open. There was a step for Dalvin Smith past Cedric Woods. That ball's got to come out a hair earlier. Throw it to that outside shoulder. Now all comes down to this. 4th and 15, game on the line for the Hilltoppers.
They'll empty the backfield. Beg your pardon. Elijah Young there. Veldkamp steps up over the middle. It is caught. It's going to be close. And he is short. Cedric Woods there with the stop. Western Kentucky got the completion, but they'll turn it over on downs. And Louisiana Tech comes to Bowling Green and ruins homecoming for the Hilltopper faithful.
For a team that has had so many close losses. Remember, a week ago, they lost on a Hail Mary to Jacksonville State at home. For them to pick themselves up off the mat and come in here on homecoming, beat Western Kentucky, who was unbeaten in conference play. Unbelievable job. Obviously well short there from Dalvin Smith. Does not pick up the first down. And what an incredible job by this team, the staff and Sonny Cumbie and these kids for Louisiana Tech. This is a huge win for the Bulldogs.
As Louisiana Tech has had some heartbreakers, you go back to even last week, losing on that Hail Mary. And the question was, will they rally or will they be defeated the rest of the way?
And
well, we got our answer.
I think that speaks to the buy-in that these Louisiana Tech players have in Sonny Cumbie and his staff, because there's a lot of teams. You lose like that a week ago, this late in the season, you see teams quit all the time. There was no quit in this bunch. Came in, brought the fight. They said they wanted to be the aggressor today. I think there's no question they accomplished that, and a huge win for the Bulldogs.
Their last win was at UTEP last season. They've lost 23 of 24 road games. What better way to get off the schneid if you're Louisiana Tech than to come into Bowling Green facing an undefeated Western Kentucky team? And we talked about it at the very top of the show, that this had the potential to be a trap game for Western Kentucky, and they fell into it.
And Louisiana Tech, say it again, they brought the fight to Western Kentucky, and that started with their ability to run the football. All game was a theme from the very beginning. They attacked Western Kentucky between the tackles, did such a nice job from that running back spot specifically. And then in the fourth quarter, when they needed it most, they did not let off the gas, continued to run the football well against this Western Kentucky front.
So Louisiana Tech, without a touchdown, comes into Bowling Green with a 12-7 victory. Western Kentucky takes the loss, and Jacksonville State at the moment all alone at the top of the conference at 5-0. And Western Kentucky still needs to face Jacksonville State in the final game of the regular season against November 30th. Let's take a look at our player of the game, brought to you by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. And who couldn't give it to one, it's got to be that running back room. Amani Gibbons, Amiri Wiggins, Jimmy Holiday and company.
Well, it was running back by committee. We knew that was going to be the case, but this entire room, fantastic today. Amari Wiggins, Amani Gibbons especially, so many broken tackles we saw throughout this game. Marquise Crosby as well. Jimmy Holiday during his spot there at the Wildcat position. Incredible job running the football for this Bulldogs offense.
Louisiana Tech comes into Bowling Green and picks up a 12-7 victory over Western Kentucky. They're near the bottom of FBS in rushing yards per game. 209 on the day. La Tech spoils homecoming for the Hilltoppers. It's been a long time coming for a road victory for Louisiana Tech, and they do it in convincing and dominating fashion, coming into Bowling Green, spoiling Western Kentucky's homecoming, coming up with a 12-7 victory. We go down to the field with Louisiana Tech head coach Sonny Cumbie. Coach Cumbie, we were asking ourselves, what would Coach Leach be saying right now watching this game, watching you guys win with field goals and the running attack, but what an impressive win by your defense and your running game today?
Well, extremely proud of our football team. And to come on the road against one of the best teams in our conference to prove that we're right up there with them. The ball hasn't bounced our way a lot of times in conference, but I'll tell you what, our kids kept fighting and you showed it today. And so defensively, unbelievable. This was a game on the road against a really good football team that we were in control of the football game the whole time. I think we dominated the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football, and I'm just proud of how our teams played. And, ugly counts. We've had ugly losses. We've got an ugly win, but I don't think, when you win, it's never ugly. It was a great all-around performance by our football team.
Coach, for all that you talked about those close losses in conference, and this late in the season, we've all seen teams that they don't give their best. They maybe quit towards the end of the year. There was zero quit, and your kids came on the road and get this huge win. How proud of you are you in them to stick with it and get this win on the road?
Well, you see, it's hard to talk about our football team without getting emotional because they're uncommon. They're an uncommon group of players. They're an uncommon group of players that the common thing to do is to take your ball and go home. The common thing to do is to exit when things get hard. The common thing to do is to blame others when things don't go your way. This group is uncommon, and they proved it today.
Coach, you had been talking about that we've kind of been a step away on all these games, these close losses, that you just needed a big one for your momentum. You've had a couple of games that have changed the complexion of your season for you. This one obviously has to change things even more for the future. When you look at the play of your offensive line and the running attack today, what are you most proud of after watching this game today?
Well, I think that's how we won the football game. They weren't going to let us take shots down the field. They were going to make us run the football. They did a good job with Upton Stout bracketing true the whole game in the slot, and they were going to make us run the football and be patient, and we were able to do that. Coach Young did a great job of being patient. Our offensive line, the movement that they created, Monty Givens and Wiggs, just did a phenomenal job running the football with great ball security, and so it was a great way to win this football game, and it shows a lot of grit and a lot of toughness that this program, these kids have, and we got the thing to bounce our way today.
Sonny, congratulations on the win. Go enjoy it.
Thanks, we will.
Head coach Sonny Cumbie is Louisiana Tech impressing everyone and putting a shock into this Bowling Green community as we look at these Conference USA standings now. Taylor McCarg, Western Kentucky now at 5-1. They still have Jacksonville State and Liberty left on their schedule. Not a way they wanted to start this final stretch.
Not at all, but on the other side for Louisiana Tech, I know they've got to go on the road to Arkansas next week, but that is not impossible, in my opinion. They could go to Fayetteville and get an upset. Still need 2 wins. If they could somehow pull off the upset against Arkansas, they host Kennesaw State. I think it's still not out of the question that this team could get to bowl eligibility, but regardless, what a massive win for Sonny Cumbie and his guys to come in here to Bowling Green, spoil homecoming for the Hilltoppers, and come away with a big win.
And what an effort from defensive coordinator Jeremiah Johnson, getting his team ready to face one of the best offenses in FBS in Western Kentucky, and they got the job done, only allowing 1 touchdown in the entire game. That's as good as a shutout as I'm concerned.
And the ability to run the football, piggybacking off of what they saw a week ago. Again, all the rushing yards that was given up by this Hilltoppers unit, that's exactly what Louisiana Tech leaned into, ran the football consistently, was running back by committee, and just such an impressive win for the Bulldogs.
So still a lot to be decided on Conference USA. We'll have it for you here on CBS Sports Network. For Taylor McCarg and our entire CBS crew, my name is Alex Del Barrio. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network. It's the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Following a commercial break, we'll take you to Beyond Limits here on CBS Sports Network. But remember, we've got a full day of college football coming up as well. So long from Bowling Green. La Tech with an impressive 12-7 victory over the Hilltoppers.